Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Ape Escape Pre Part 27. So going back to that China level where we're going to have to go through the ancient Chinese temples again and the very modern looking Chinese city streets, we're going to find the leftover Kung Fu monkeys and capture them. And this level is, even though I've already mapped out this level, or I charted this whole level out, we still have to run all the way through the level again. Something that Banjo-Kazooie would never allow us to do, and something that Titanic level in this game would never allow us to do either. They clearly forgot about that when they made this level. So now Kay has to run all the way through the level again. He has to run all the way through. I hope his medical plan covers, so I wonder if Kay and Yumi even got medical plans for being in this game. I wonder how much they get paid to do all this, if they even get paid at all. Maybe they're doing it out of charity because it's the better thing to do to save the world. Yeah. Once they're really doing this without pay, just running through the whole levels, I wonder if they got any. I mean, Kay and Yumi were honored as heroes at the end of the game, as shown in the end credits. They appear in the front cover magazine, but if they got any kind of other kind of rewards or honors or something like that for doing what they did. Same thing could be said for Spike and Jimmy in the first two Ape Escapes. Did Spike ever get anything for defeating Spectre? Did Jimmy ever win anything for defeating Spectre? Was given a special Medal of Honor or something like that? I don't know, it never really says what they got for defeating Spectre in the first two games. I guess Kay and Yumi are going to get the same reward. They'll just be recognized as heroes, and then that's it. In 10 years or more from now, no one's going to seriously care about any of this anymore in the year. And they're probably going to become forgotten legends someday that people will forget about. We'll never see them in games anymore. The characters we'll never see in games anymore, or we're never going to see them in anything else or reference to anything else. I mean, this game is kind of, I don't exactly call it an obscure game. But Ape Escape Re definitely is an underrated game simply because a lot of people don't seem to know about it. People talk about the best the PS2 has to offer. No one ever talks about this game. It's one of the best games on the PS2. No one ever talks about this game. Surely this game deserves a much higher level of recognition than what's actually given to it. So we're going to head back to the Chinese streets, the streets of this Chinese city where we're going to come across, well, we're not going to find any communist propaganda. We're just going to see what we saw the first time around. There's still some monkeys hiding out in the street, still some monkeys camping out on the signs. There's a monkey hanging onto that bridge thing there, over there. That monkey could easily be knocked down by using the slingback shooter and shooting at the monkey and having him fall off onto the street, where he could easily get run over by a double-decker bus. I'm starting to wonder if this is actually in China or not, considering the lack of propaganda. And also, we're driving, and also, well, I don't know what else could confirm this is not actually China. Maybe this is just Chinatown or something like that. Everything seems to be a bus there or a car. They look like generic looking cars. And again, we've seen generic looking cars like that in other Ape Escape games. They might be K cars or something like that, or things that are probably not going to explode in your face or something like that. And some cars are known to do that. So I don't think any of these cars are. Maybe they're cheap Chinese car companies. There are such things as Chinese car companies that are really cheap and that just make stuff that fall apart. Kind of like that car that Jim Carrey had in the movie The Mask that just fell apart. Only these Chinese cars or Korean cars do that because they're new. They even made fun of that in a movie once. They said, oh, if we destroyed them back in the Korean War, we don't have to drive behind those large tin cans out on the street all the time. Those large tin cans, those metal boxes, those are made in South Korea. That's our Korea. That's the good Korea. And so if we run over here, there's going to be it's going to like a whole platforming segment here where we're doing typical platforming, except we have to dodge obstacles. It's like an obstacle course almost. We have to dodge the obstacles and jump on things. Seems like something could be on a game show or something. I think there are game shows like that actually where you can jump off stuff or jump on stuff or bounce off stuff, and especially because we're being ninjas and stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have to become the Miracle Ninja a lot. And this level's clearly set in China. We get a kung fu morph we can morph into, and yeah, they make us use the Miracle Ninja a lot in this level too. I wonder if that's because this game is Japanese and maybe they're reflecting on the fact that our martial arts. Our traditional martial arts are better than yours, China. Maybe that was some sort of maybe they're saying something to China somehow, or maybe they're trying to prove that they were better than China or something. A lot of people don't even know the difference. I don't think my grandma knows the difference or wouldn't even care about the difference. And so now they're either dumping a bunch of those pots, so then it makes a pottery class in there or something like that. Just dumps some pots off the edge there. We might get hit by them, but if we have our good, maneuverability, it's really, the controls actually are really good in this game. The game feels very, it's easy to control, it's easy to do stuff in this game. The controls definitely are really good in this game. All the Escape games have really good controls. Definitely have way better controls than Super Mario 64. It's easy to fall over stuff or slide on stuff or accidentally run into stuff a lot in Mario 64 for that very reason. Because the controls, Mario 64 gets praised for having a lot of freedom in a game. But what good is that freedom when it's hard to control the character? Then again, a lot of games in 1996 had lousy controls. Like Crash Bandicoot, the original Crash Bandicoot wasn't always the best either of those controls. It's just a game that closely competed with Mario 64. But then again, Crash Bandicoot came out before the DualShock analog controller was released, so you had to play the game with the D-pad arrow keys on the controller, and that wasn't really that good. Those kind of controllers aren't really good for 3D platformers like Crash Bandicoot. 3D platforms like that weren't really, didn't really make their mark on the PlayStation until years later, more like in 1998 and the years afterwards, but there were still some before then. So now there's still a few more monkeys left, and so there's one that's just hanging out on that sign that says, hang on, so I wonder how he got there. Maybe he wandered off over there using that tightrope that leads to it, and then some of the tightrope got cut off. And then he got stranded there, kind of like the Loch Ness Monster, only it's just getting stuck on a sign rather than getting stuck in an ocean. These computers look like iMacs almost. I think back at the time this game came out, an iMac probably looked something like that. That's when they started to design them to look more TV-based, look more like large, big screen TVs with keyboards and mice connected to them. That was after the era they made those iconic colored designs where they look like small colored TVs. I think this may have been after they just looked like lamps or something like that. I don't know. They really drastically designed the iMac a lot over the years. Over the last 15 or more years, they've always looked like TVs now. They're indistinguishable from TVs for the most part. There's a Monkey Gang and Eye exam, where eye exams are the eye doctor, which is where, which is where you find out that your eyes suck pretty much, and they're not as good as you thought they were. They always exaggerate that your eyes are not as good as you think yours, so you can buy their products or something like that. When really, supposedly it's possible to train your eyes. My eyes weren't that good until somewhat recently. They were good for the longest time, but then they started to degrade at one point. But now my eyes are becoming back to normal. I was at a fast food restaurant the other week where I sat down at a booth and I was looking over the TV, and the TV is a far distance away, and I could read the TV just fine. So I think my eyes are getting better overall, kind of like Han Solo after he was unfrozen from carbonite. So here we're going to take on Funny Bird, the creator of Bouncy the Ball. We're taking on his favorite boss in this game. It's Monkey Red. Funny Bird loves Monkey Red, because Monkey Red was definitely the inspiration from Lynn Loud from the Loud House. Lynn Jr., that is, from the Loud House. They definitely took inspiration from this. I'm pretty sure the people that were probably playing this game when they were making the Loud House or something like that, or when the Loud House is conceived, they're probably playing this game. That's probably where they got the idea of some. It'll make sense to some other things in this game too. Like the fact that there's like a music type character, and that there's like a what else there's like an inventor type character as well too. I'm starting to see I'm starting to think that the Loud House did get inspiration from this game. I bet they're gonna deny. If you ever go out to those people and ask them, do you know anything about Ape Escape 3? Have you ever played a game called Ape Escape 3 before? They're probably gonna deny ever knowing what Ape Escape is. A lot of people, but then again, a lot of people don't seem to know what Ape Escape is, and I think they could get away with not knowing anything about Ape Escape, or Ape Escape 3 definitely, because I think Ape Escape 1 is actually a lot more famous than Ape Escape 3. A lot more people seem to have bought into Ape Escape 1 than Ape Escape 3. Did Ape Escape 3 ever achieve greatest hit status? I think it did achieve greatest hit status, but even then, getting greatest hit status doesn't necessarily mean it was an awesome seller game, because some games like supposedly Twisted Metal 3 and 4, those games didn't get released outside North America because they didn't sell well enough. But despite that, they still sold well enough to make green labeled greatest hit status. So we're gonna go after the next phase of this fight. He's praising us for our awesome kung fu skills. We're not even using the kung fu fighter against him. We're just using our standard stun club to fight him. Yeah, Kay must naturally be a kung fu master. Maybe Kay practiced in his sleep. Maybe he's the reincarnation of Bruce Lee or someone like that, or Jackie Chan even, or something. Maybe they could be the reincarnation of them. Yeah, that would be pretty. Yeah, maybe he is a reincarnation. That would make sense then. He did seem to be a pretty good fighter. He was good at taking out those swarms of Teleborgs that came out of us earlier. And he was really good at fighting off some of those monkeys, some of those fighter monkeys that were like try to defeat us. I don't think Yumi's as good as fighting in this game. Yumi actually isn't as good as a fighter, but then again, most of the monkeys are fans of Yumi anyways. A lot of them are turned on by the fact that Yumi's a famous pop star, which technically makes her story mode actually, or her gameplay actually easier than Kay's by a very slight amount actually. And so we're still just gonna pound this guy as much as we can. We're in the dark, that doesn't seem to really do anything against us. Yeah, now it's the final round of the battle, I think, where he's gonna really want to fight us more. It'd be cool if they actually changed, like, how the game plays for this level. If they made it more like a battle arena to Shinden battle or something. I think that would be pretty cool if they did that. Like, battle arena to Shinden. They did something like that in Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon, in that one level. It's called the Frozen Altars, and there's a part where you can play as Bentley the Yeti, and you can actually it goes into like a boxing match kind of thing. We have to box against this guy, this Yeti. He looks like the Yeti from Spyro 2, and you have to box against him. And the gameplay changes completely because it's like a boxing game now. I think they should have done something like that for this fight. That actually would have been cool, actually. They should have done that for all the boss fights in this game. That actually would have been really impressive, I think, if they did something like that for the boss fights. And maybe make more levels that deviate away from platforming. Instead, they're just downright action levels, like what Galaxy Monkey was, or like in that Toy Town level where you play as Kay and with the cowboy, you know, the cowboy kid or something like that, and then you could shoot down and everything. They should have made more levels in this game that focus on stuff like that. And of course, there would be monkeys to capture too. That'd be part of it all too. But I think they should have focused more on that stuff instead of making every level a simple 3D platform. It would have been cool. I think that actually would have been a cool idea. It's kind of like a lost opportunity on their part. And something that would have made the game. I think this game could have been. This game may have been a little bit more unique. I mean, if they did send that. I mean, I really do like this game. This is a really good game, but I will admit, sometimes it does get old after a while from playing the same, especially because it makes you go through all the levels all over again, pretty much, and it's all 3D platforming all the way through. I think they could have, done some more stuff like that to add depth to the gameplay and more, gameplay features like that. But I'm not complaining. This game is still really good overall. So now I captured Monkey Red. The inspiration for the Loud House has finally been captured. He's probably gonna be sent to a Nickelodeon laboratory or somewhere like that where they're gonna study him or something like that, so they can figure out how to make more shows based on this thing. So Nickelodeon has shows for years. This is Ray Phoenix signing out.